How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. This was a stressful game to watch. I was stressed through probably the entire third period, the overtime, and the shootout. A little frustrating, but that's all right. Let's hop into it. So Zibanejad is in the lineup. He took an awkward fall into the boards last game, and he looked pretty out of it. But he was able to play tonight, which was good. D'Angelo is also back in the lineup. He's out of timeout. Smith is not in the lineup. D'Angelo's back in. I mean, D'Angelo had some mistakes tonight. My ideal decor for this team is Smith is in, Johnson's out, but for some reason that doesn't seem to be happening. I dare to dream. One day maybe, but that's okay. The lineup for tonight, Quinn did a little shifting of the lines. He put Lafreniere on the top line with Zibanejad and then Kreider on his offhand. But as we've discussed, the NHL's getting a little bit more fluid with their forwards. It's a lot less left wing, right wing, and a lot more forward one, forward two, forward three. So didn't seem to throw any wrenches into the play tonight. Second line, Panarin, Strome, and Buchnevich. I figure Quinn put Buch on the second line just to help even out that top six, to drive a little bit more offense, maybe help Strome out a little bit. Third line, he kept the same, DiGiuseppe, Hedl, and Kakko, and that line looked phenomenal tonight. Really, really good. Like that, the Rangers' third line killed it tonight. And then a bottom line of Lemieux. Rooney was back in. Rooney's no longer injured. He was back in as that fourth line center, and then Howden on the right side. So Gauthier was the odd man out tonight. Lindgren and Fox were the top pair. Miller and Trouba on that second pair. Miller also had a great game tonight. He's developing fast, and it showed tonight. And then Johnson, D'Angelo on that bottom pair. Shesterkin was in net. A couple interesting points. The Rangers, before tonight's game, 17 power plays in 3 games. That seems outrageous. And, almost half of those came from their second Islanders game, so that kind of skews the figure a little bit, but still, 17 power plays in 3 games. I thought that was worth writing on the board. And then another cool stat, the Rangers currently are third in the NHL for shots per game with 35.3 shots per game. That's a lot. Like, as much as the Rangers have still some very big defensive deficiencies, they drive offense. Like, you can't say the Rangers don't drive offense. Like, you can say the Rangers have holes defensively, and you are not wrong, but you can't say they don't drive offense, and they did it well tonight. This is the first of a 4-game road trip for the Rangers. They're going to see Pittsburgh again Sunday, and then they'll see Buffalo twice in a row next week as well. So let's hop right into the game. First period, 8 minutes in, not really much was happening. I mean, there wasn't a lot of neutral zone play. They were zipping right through, getting into the offensive zone, but there wasn't a lot of sustained pressure. It took a while for both teams to finally be able to get into the zone and set something up. 7:45, Strome has a breakaway. It was a beautiful long pass from Panarin. Hit him right on the tape. Just Strome missed the shot. And then 10:29, Rust scores a goal. At first, I thought it was Cece's goal because it was a point shot, but it was either a deflection or a double deflection, and Rust got it past Shesterkin. Really nothing you can do as a goaltender when it's deflected by you. We're not superhuman. 10:58, Letang takes a tripping penalty. It was drawn by Buchnevich. Buch made a great move to get around him, and Letang flailed his stick. Just he didn't know what to do. Tripped Buchnevich. Power play, it was tough to set up that first power play the Rangers had tonight. The Penguins' penalty kill is quite aggressive. Zibanejad got hit in the chin by a deflection, but he was okay. He came right back into the game. He didn't go to the locker room, I don't think. Lafreniere, man, he as good as he's looked in these first couple games, He also frustrates me at times, and one of those times was on this first power play. He did this 2 or 3 times tonight where he has an open shot and he opts to pass instead, and I don't think any of the passes ever connected. Like, he's being very unselfish, and as a rookie, I guess the tendency is for you to be a little unselfish, but like, be selfish. Like, I want him to get his first NHL goal, and he's never going to get it when he keeps opting for the pass instead of just shooting. Like, 2 or 3 times tonight, I'm like, Lafreniere, just shoot the puck. Ugh, it's frustrating. But then at the end of the period, 17-14, he gets a partial breakaway from a really long pass from Zibanejad. Obviously, he doesn't score the goal, but we get to the end of the period. Pittsburgh, after 1 period, a face-off percentage, 85.7%. They obliterated the Rangers in the face-off dot in that first period. It wasn't even close. That needed to get better. And even by the end of the game, the Rangers only had, they were only winning 1 out of every 3 face-offs. And as much offense as they were generating off of only winning a third of the face-offs, imagine how much offense they could generate if they win half or more of the face-offs. So, like, as much growth as we've seen the Rangers have in these first 4 games, this is one of the last pieces of the puzzle for them to get some sustained wins, and it was not good tonight. Yeah, both teams playing really well defensively, not a lot of sustained pressure after 1 period. But then we get to this second period, and boy howdy, was this a fun 6 minutes of this second period. 32 seconds in, Gensel takes a delay of game penalty, shot it over the glass. We saw Quinn make a quicker switch of the power play units on this power play. Each unit got only about 1 minute each. We've seen the first power play get almost 90 seconds pretty much every time, and then the second unit comes on and just cleans up the end of the power play. But we saw each unit get about a minute each, and at this point, Rangers haven't scored a goal yet, so Quinn's just trying to, stir the pot, do some fire wagon, changes and see what happens. But nothing really got going on that. But shortly after the power play ended, 2:41, Hedl scores a goal. He's alone in front, and he just dekes, and he gets the goal right past. It was a beautiful goal. Hedl has been doing really well in these first 4 games, which is good because he is the natural replacement for Strome, because Strome is not part of this Rangers team long plan. He'll probably be on the team next year, but then after that, I really don't see him signing another contract. He might even get traded this season. Like, if Hedl's playing well enough and, they can use Strome to get another piece, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I don't think Strome has any points yet this season, so he's really been off to a slow start. 4:16, Crosby takes a slashing penalty. Rangers had been controlling play right before the penalty, so it might have been a frustration penalty on Crosby's part. And this is where DeAngelo makes his first goof that I was just like, oh, God, this guy. He's at the point, and he gets the puck, and he fumbles it, and Penguins player goes right past him. Luckily, the Penguins player also fumbled the puck, so prevented a breakaway, a shorthanded breakaway for Pittsburgh. But that fumble by DeAngelo got the puck down into the Rangers' end, and then play was stopped, so they had a face-off in their own zone, and then it came back into their zone, and they had another face-off in their zone. So that's 2 defensive zone face-offs on the power play, and it all stemmed from DeAngelo fumbling the puck at the point. So that power play didn't really generate much. And, say what you will, sometimes players fumble pucks, but, DeAngelo's going to be held to a higher standard this year, and he's going to get called on stuff like that. 5:18, Fox gets a power play goal. It was a beautiful point shot. Got right past Jari. It was great. And then 30 seconds later, less than that, Kakko gets a goal. It was beautiful. Di Giuseppe, pass off of the pads. I think they call it a grenade shot. throws it at the net, bounces off the pads. Kakko has an open net, buries it. And just the look on Kakko's face, he was so excited to score that goal. And that makes me so happy because I want Kakko to do well. After the not great season he had last year, he needs a really good sophomore season. And 4 games in, he already has 2 goals. So that's a great pace. Like, if you can score a goal every other game, this season, that's 56 games, so that's 28 goals. Like, he's on a 28-goal pace right now, which for him is going to be great. Miller had the secondary assist on Kakko's goal, so that was Miller's first NHL point tonight. So congratulations to him, a secondary assist. 9:23, Lemieux takes a tripping penalty, but the penalty kill was excellent on that, so nothing to worry about. Shesterkin looks good. I mean, he hasn't really been tested that much about halfway through this game, but he hasn't let in any soft goals like he did in Game 1, so that is good. 16-19, Rooney takes a tripping penalty, but nothing. Actually, no, they do score on that. McCann scores a power play goal. This was so frustrating because McCann didn't score the goal. Lindgren scored an own goal. McCann was the last Penguin to touch it, so he gets the goal, which is funny because he hadn't scored in like 60 games, and he finally gets a goal that he didn't actually score. I thought that was funny. Lindgren went down and blocked the cross-crease pass, and then Lindgren's laying down on the ice with Shesterkin right next to him. Lindgren can't cover it in the crease because that's a penalty, so he flips the puck with his hand so that Shesterkin can cover it, and it just slides right into the goal. Lindgren just boop into the net. It was so frustrating. And then the Penguins controlled the play for the rest of the period because, of course you do. You score a goal, the energy shifts to your team, and for the last 3 minutes of that period, it was all Penguins. And even at the end of the period, Rangers need to be better on faceoffs. That was the name of the game for the Rangers at this point. We get to the third period. Good early chances for the Rangers. They come out of that intermission poised and ready to go. Back at it. Good early chances. 7:01, Zucker takes a tripping penalty. Power play has good pressure for the Rangers, but again, nothing went in. 10:14, Buchnevich had a great chance, and I don't know if I think Jari stopped it, but it was fantastic. He got a great pass. He got a great stick on it, and Jari stopped it, and they zoomed in on Buch after it, and he looked so frustrated. Like, he had so many good chances tonight, and he kept getting denied, and he was getting frustrated. He's probably getting used to scoring goals. And then 11:23, Bluger scores a goal. Point shot, misses wide, probably on purpose. Bounces out from behind the other side of the net. Bluger has an open cage. And then they keep pushing the Penguins after that goal, because I think they said the last 2 games that they played against the Capitals, they were comeback wins. Like, this is where the Penguins thrive. Like, if they're behind in the third period, it doesn't bother them. They're going to keep pushing, and then they know how to score goals. So this was just another night for the Penguins. Heedle's line has a good shift and finally breaks up that Pens energy. Heedle's line was just really good tonight. Really solid line. A couple, I call them seat-hopping chances, because it looks like it's going to go in, so I hop up and I squeal, and then it doesn't go in, but they had a couple of them towards the end. I really thought the Rangers were going to close it out in that third period, because they had 4 or 5 chances that were like, this could be it, this could be it, this could be it. Darn. And then Quinn does another shift towards the end of the third period, puts Panarin on the Heedle line just to try and drum up some sort of offense, and almost worked a couple of times. So good on Quinn. He's kind of getting his feet wet with these line changes. Goes to overtime, and Igor, save on Malkin. Heedle hits the post. 2:20 of this overtime. I screamed because I thought it was in. I thought he closed it out. I thought he scored the goal, and it went off the post. And at this point, I'm just a ball of stress sitting on my couch. He was so close to closing out. And then DiGiuseppe, as good a game as he had, I think he had 2 assists tonight. As good a game as he had, this was just take the shot when you have the shot. Like, this was another case where he has the shot and then he opts to pass and the pass gets broken up and then you get no shot. Like, I'd rather you take a shot than pass and get no shot. So I was a little upset with Di Giuseppe. Igor, he makes a save on Gensel. Gensel was on a breakaway, and I was clenching because I thought he was going to close it out, but Igor makes the save, and then 40 seconds later, he makes another good save on Rust. Rust was, I think he had 10 shots on goal tonight. He was a madman. He wanted goals. But Igor stopped him, goes to the shootout. Gensel is first, he scores. Zibanejad goes, he misses. Crosby goes, he misses. Panarin goes and he scores. So now after 2 shooters each, it's tied 1-1. Letang is Penguins' third player. He scores. Giangelo goes. He needs to score to keep it going, and he misses. So Letang wins it for the Penguins in a shootout, and the Penguins win 4-3. Shots, 34-29 for the Rangers. So the Rangers keep out shooting the other team, which is great. Keep doing that. Drive the offense. Hits, again, for the Rangers, 40 hits tonight to the Penguins 30. So a lot of hits on both teams. And, this is probably going to be same story Sunday night because they're playing the same team. Face-off, we already said, was abysmal for the Rangers. Blocks, 10 apiece. Rangers, 1 for 4 on the power play. So this is, another game where the power play scores, which is good. Keep that going because when the Rangers set up a power play, it's so dangerous, especially with Fox being the quarterback of this power play. He has such a control of this game, and he has such control at the point because if you're guarding Fox, you don't know whether or not he's going to shoot or pass, and that's what makes him so dangerous. These are not updated as of tonight. These are as of before the games tonight started, so this is kind of where we stand. It's obviously going to adjust a little bit tonight afterwards. Final thoughts. Di Giuseppe, Hedl, Kakko line, fantastic. I hope they have another great night Sunday. If that chemistry keeps cooking, that would just be great for all 3 of those players. Miller was out against Crosby a bunch tonight, and he held his own. Miller is looking really solid. He just turned 21, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, and he's... Game 4, he looks steady. Like, he doesn't look nervous anymore. He knows what he's doing. He made a bunch of good plays tonight. And I'm really glad he's developing this quickly because he's a key piece of this Rangers team. The synergy is setting in. Like, Game 1 was sloppy as hell. Game 2, still a little sloppy, but getting better. Then against the Devils, really solidifying. And then this game, solidifying even more. Like, the passes are there. Like, the team is kind of gelling. These lines are getting really good synergy together, and it's so much fun to watch. It's just fun to have hockey back. Disappointing, obviously, to give up a 2-goal lead. This has been classic Rangers fashion for the past couple seasons. But it's a building game. And I think the positives you can take away from this game outweigh the negatives. Even though they lost, they played really well, and they come away with a point anyway, which is good in such a tightly contested division. You get any point you can get, and it's better to come away with 1 point than no points. Obviously, you want 2, but 1 is better than none. The trivia question of the night, Panarin set a franchise record tonight for fastest player to 100 points with the Rangers. He set the new record at 73 games tonight. Who held it previously? I'll give you a second. It was Mark Messier. He did it in 74 games. Panarin broke his record tonight, getting to 100 points with the Rangers in 73 games. So nice job, Panarin. He earned every one of those points. The next game is against the Penguins at their stadium. Again, Sunday evening, and we'll see. This was a great game. I hope we get another great game. I just hope that maybe we can just kind of switch these 2 numbers, and maybe the Rangers can come away with another win. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.